From my Carolina home, had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
2, 1. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Totally awesome, I hope. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Hangout Live with ToledoJess and I, and our guest this week, Rob, from WyGold's Metal Detecting Adventures. Part-time miner in Arizona and detectorist in sunny San Diego. Should be a really good show for all you treasure porn addicts. I believe he might have some to show. And so be happy, Jeff. Be happy. So, with no more further to do, let's get on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. With your hosts, and Marvin, and ToledoJess. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Every day on the cricket beat, flashes for playing.
No, is Brother Joseph in here? I don't see him.
No. No. Joseph Knowles.
Oh.
No, I was just saying I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh. Hello, everybody. Luke, AAP, Variety Channel. Good to see you. I hope everything's
That Luke
doing
Duke?
well. No, it's not Luke
No,
Duke.
okay. Oh, hello.
M-
AAP's Variety Channel.
Mona, world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak, Ohio
Lodak.
Relic Hunter, and GoPro Unlimited.
EPU, what's up?
Jerry Curry,
Terry.
Mona Twice, hello.
Mona, I saw Brad in here.
David Alvansati, Art, and Joseph Knowlton, hello. And Gold Hunter 77 has now entered the chat.
All right. We can
Brad,
start out, right?
good to see you. Glad your winter's nice so far. Winter
Really?
for us starts tomorrow, or summer starts tomorrow, I think.
Really Shiny Gold. David Villa.
Willie. David Villa. Brewers
The
Prospecting.
Manic. Your buddy there?
Numismatic.
Yes.
Santa Claus, a.k.a. Skipper. How you doing, our Canadian friend? I can do that,
Relic
Mona.
Hunter,
Look
what's
at
up?
me. Brad Welsh, good to see you as always. Ron F is listening
Hey,
in.
Ron, what's
Kyle
up?
King, how are you? I hope you're all doing great tonight, this afternoon, whatever
You
it may
scared
be,
Mona, Ed.
tomorrow morning. I know. Look at me, you know.
I am. I get it.
I bet I scare you too.
I scare me.
Well, there he is, Ron F.
Yep. Ron F in the house. Hey, look.
For a fact,
WyGold in
Jesse.
the house.
Congratulations on your fight against nicotine, Joseph. It's a hard battle. Been there numerous times and fallen off the wagon numerous times. Why, thank you, Mona.
I've been tobacco free for going on 7 years.
You
8
still
years.
smoke, you vape,
I
it's
didn't.
still
What did I say?
nicotine. You
Did
said
I? What did I?
tobacco
Thank
free.
you. That's right. I know what I said.
I know what you said too. I have an earbud going right in my ear, so it's hard to miss.
How's that? Hear that?
Oh, Mona, you're gonna make me blush.
Huh.
Willie Shiny Gold, hope it's not too hot in sunny Arizona. Hope you're able to get out in the evenings and whatnot. Um, but I have an announcement, and I know Jesse's gonna throw in his 2 cents worth. Our friend and past guest of Tuesday Night Hangout Live, Keithy6, out of Alaska, Alaskan metal detecting in Alaska, Keithy6. His oldest grandson, Alan, I believe his name is, was in a terrible motorcycle wreck not long ago. Keithy6 has a video about it. It's about an hour and a half long on his channel.
Yep.
But he does have a GoFundMe set up to help with medical expenses and whatnot for his oldest grandson. As you can see, I have the chat tagged right here for it. It's also pinned at the top of my chat. So,
And really, you should go
watch
watch
the
the video.
video.
Yeah, watch the video. It'll explain what all happened and the circumstances around there. I would tell you because I watched the video and it's all I'm going to say is that it's wow.
Messed
It's
up.
unfortunate, Yeah, that's hard stuff. And I send a lot of healing prayers to his grandson and to the rest of the family, Ethan
Without a
included.
doubt.
Yeah, yeah. So everyone, and he does have a GoFundMe page. I think there'll be a link on his YouTube video for it. If you can help out, if not, at least say
Watch
let
that
them know you care.
video, even if you're busy, leave it running or listen to it in the background. Every view would help,
Right.
even if you can't afford the GoFund.
Get the views on it.
Or if you can,
Share it.
any little bit would help.
Right. Share the video out. It's a heartbreaking situation. It's they're accidents.
Oh, and pray for AAP's Variety Channel. Pray for the missing
Oh yeah, right.
Submersible vehicle, 35
Yes.
hours of air left.
Yeah, supposedly that thing's got like 4 days worth of oxygen for that number of people. So that's their timeline.
Our friend Brad down under over the weekend, he had to fight a 6-foot roo. Had a boxing match with a roo. Dang thing came into his camp and tore it up.
Well, you know,
And he
where's the
was
video?
half drunk too.
Who, the Roo or?
Brad said it got a bit interesting towards the end.
They make up and go get a couple more.
Mona, even if you did $5, $2, $1, it all
Yeah,
adds up and it
that's
all
right.
means something. Thank you very much, Mona. Old Bill gotta kick the roo in the scrotty.
That's not bad.
Bam! Before we get to Rob, everyone, next week will be our 6-year anniversary Open Line Tuesday show. We'll be talking about a few things and maybe looking back on some things. I don't know yet. You know
Are you
how
gonna
we
show
are. We
videos?
shoot by the hip, shoot from the hip. I
Yes.
don't know if I have enough time to make a highlight video or anything. They up my work hours at work,
Oh, no.
so now I have like mandatory overtime.
Right.
But it's okay. It's okay.
That's extra money.
Yeah, to give to the
Like there's
government.
such thing as extra money.
Right, right. But and I believe Mr. Lodak and I will be having an auction this coming Saturday evening. Other than that,
Wait a minute. I have not seen him in here. Sharon, are you in here?
yeah, he's been in
He was
here.
here earlier.
You missed him.
Oh, he was here earlier. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. He must be modding about 40 other places right now too.
Could be.
He'll come back around to us.
He's the
There he is.
super
Nope,
mod for
he's
the.
not here. Nope, not
Nope,
here.
not here.
Okay,
No.
good.
Thanks for
Now we
letting
can talk
us
about
know, Mr. Lodak.
Do you think all the trolls on the inner zones know who Mr. Lodak is by now?
Oh, they probably do.
Oh no, don't go in
Colin,
that chat room. There's Mr. Lodak's in there. Everybody get out.
he knows who we are before we hit the door. Colin, good to see you, Heavy Meadow Detective. It was great seeing you down
Heavy
at
Meadow.
Freedom Fest at Cottonwood Trails. He didn't want to get out of the camp and didn't want to move, so I jumped onto its tail, which was the trigger. He bounced up and looked me straight in the eye, and he meant business. Did he have his dukes up? Come on, bloke.
Did he flex it for you? Did he give you? No, these guys go. Did he put a big flex out for you before you guys went toe to toe, tail to tail?
Ding ding. Round one.
All we got to deal with is things like raccoons and and squirrels. Oh yeah, and bears and cougars.
They have bears in Toledo now.
Well, not here in Toledo, but I mean, you know what I mean. In the United States.
Right. Depending on what part of the states you're in.
Right now, well, you know, mid Southern Ohio, they got black bears, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, along West Virginia, down along
I've seen,
the Ohio.
I've seen deer walking down the railroad tracks by our house, and I've also seen coyotes walking down the railroad tracks by our house.
I
You
can
know,
see
on the
that.
deer. You know,
I can see
they're
that.
We got coyotes
and
coming
wild
back.
animals are starting to encroach on us, man. We better watch it. They're starting to take back land back.
Yeah.
Right. Hey Jason, how are you doing, BC Treasure Trails? Good to see you.
Homebrewed spicy rum, 1 bottle. Sounds like
Jeff Brewer, hope everything's going well with you, brother.
James. What's up? James,
Hey, brother Jim, how you doing, James? I'm very tempted to talk ill will about my oldest brother, but I won't. I will refrain. I will be good. Lord, give me strength. But it's good to see you, James. Good to see you, James. Now, that's probably enough time, huh?
Hey, did you go? Did you go to Faucet?
Yes, I did. I texted
Yeah, how
you
was it?
from Fossick. And
What?
people were like, where's
Hey,
Jesse? Where's Jesse? Jesse gonna be here? Usually, if we see you, we see Jesse. We see Jesse, we see you. Is Jesse here? No, Jesse's not here. Well, let him know.
Hey, what? Here, check this out. I get the same thing, of course, without a doubt. Where's Ed? I don't know. Where's Ed? I don't know. Where's Ed? I don't know. He's not here.
Right.
But honestly, though, how many Fossics have I ever gone to?
Probably about as many as me. I'm probably
Well, I
a
don't know.
little
I don't
more
know.
than
I
you. But we
Oh yeah,
usually.
because I can count all of mine on one finger.
Oh, on one finger. You've only been to one Fossick?
Right. Yeah, and that was the when Jocelyn and
Drew.
Drew came up, right?
And
then I was only there
Adam from Prospectors
right. Adam was
Space.
there too, and I was only there for a little bit.
Right. Well, I've been to a few more than you then. But we mostly make Gold Rush because Gold Rush is the big thing.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Fossick is slowly, compared to when Jocelyn went to now, it's a bigger showing.
Is it?
Yeah, and they've done a lot of really good improvements to the Swank West with the new president, Robert. He owns a tree service, and
nice.
They've enlarged the bowl about a third larger. And,
really?
Wait
a minute.
Talked to the Swanks and the farmer, and we got back 20 more feet of ground into the old crop field for parking and stuff now from the lane. And,
cool. So
and
we got the park.
Yeah, and then they took out that footage from across the field, that tree line where the swamp is and the creek and stuff is. They took they cleaned it up really nice, made it farmable for the farmer, and that's how he gave back our original property
Oh,
from
oh,
the
oh,
lease.
oh. On the road side of the river or the creek? Is that what you're talking about? On the roadside?
Well, you know, if we're camped, there's
Right.
the farm field, then on the other side, that still
That wooded area.
follows Katna Road, the
Right.
trees and the
Yeah.
creek. Yeah, they
The
cleaned up
roadside.
25 feet of that, and we gained 20, and it pushed the field that way.
Right. Okay.
And
Cool.
and with that, we got a good third more of the bowl area for more camping and stuff.
Oh,
So,
cool.
but I
That's
don't
cool.
ever want to. When I tented, I camped back there.
Well, we didn't lose any of the woods there, right? Like Barefoot Holler or nothing.
No, Bigfoot
Okay,
Holler's
cool.
still there.
Okay, cool.
It's well more maintained now. And Chris, if
We
you're
won't be
listening,
secluded. We won't be secluded back there no more.
no, it ain't that bad. It
Okay.
ain't like they went it did a bunch of selective logging or nothing. No, they took care of a bunch of deadfalls and dead trees and took out a bunch of widow makers and stuff. So, Rob,
Yeah.
the president, and this administration has done a really good job at making some mass improvements to the Swank West lease.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, that's a they call it the Diamond of the East. The GPA is
yeah, the
their
jewel of the East Coast.
Jewel of the East.
Randy, Scotty, Tony, how are you doing?
Let's see. Anybody else?
Just having a good old time in your guys' chat.
What was that?
I said, I'm just having a good old time in you guys' chat room.
Well, hey. The chat room is fun. Without a doubt.
Hold on for a second. I need to talk to my intruder.
Oh no, I'm an intruder.
Get in here, then you gotta get out. Get in here, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, they're saying hi back. You didn't. I had the door closed for a reason, honey. Okay, under the screen, don't pull it down. Shut the door on your way out, or I'll have a cat attacking me next. All right, sorry everybody. The joys of live entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just wait for the
she got out
joke.
safe. So, why don't you introduce our guest tonight?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. We'll keep talking then. All right.
It's easier to give Rob a hard time. We've known him all after all these years. But no, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Rob from WyGold's Metal Detecting Adventures. Right now you're back in San Diego, right?
Yeah, San Diego. It's nice and cool right now. It's been in the 70s for the past couple of days, which has been nice.
Yeah.
It's been crappy. We've had overcast skies for almost the entire month I've been back, and been in the 50s and 60s. So, you know,
is that where you normally live? Is that your That's that where you're
Southern
from?
California. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a saying out here: April showers, May gray, June gloom. It's true. So
Okay, yeah.
So, how was your time in the Arizona desert, Rob?
well, this year was a lot better than last. Let's just say.
Well, that's good.
Fortunately, weather really kicked our butts this year. I mean, compared to the year before, we did have a lot of days where we had rain, but it wasn't enough to fill the wash full of water. You know, it just rained a couple of days, and then the ground would be so wet we had to wait a week for it to dry out. Because
Right.
we're using dry washer when we're mining for the gold. This year we've had a lot of snow up north, so that kind of helped feed water down the wash, and so unfortunately we couldn't get the equipment down there in time, and I ended up taking it upon myself to go out there and dig what I can. You know,
Excellent.
utilizing the
Yeah,
water.
You go out every summer? Is that, I mean,
For
I
what?
don't know what your routine is.
Oh,
To Arizona and then,
for the past 2 years, I've been going to Arizona during
yeah,
the wintertime when it's cool. You know, not when it's 115 degrees. I ain't going out there digging.
yeah,
No.
right. Yeah, yeah, 'cause,
Oh,
yeah, that's
come on. You're hardcore, Rob.
the only time. Well, you could mine, but it had to be like 3 in the morning till 5.
You could be
Yeah,
like
okay,
it
it's
was
really
when
like
I
the
did
generator running.
construction there. We worked from, like, what was it? Oh, shoot. We went in like 3 in the morning and worked till noon or 11 or so.
I used to do the same thing in when I lived in Houston. When I was roofing, it's 3 in the morning till about noon. That was it. You're done. Too hot.
Then it was siesta time during the hottest part of the day.
Swimming time, dude.
Well, I've
Yeah.
done construction up in the Pacific Northwest during the summer times. It gets just so nasty out there. It's so humid, 100, 105, and you're inside a building that you're basically framing, drywalling, all that.
Right.
Oh, and it gets really, really terrible.
When I lived in the Pacific Northwest for decades and decades, the humidity's nothing like it is here. Or
You think that
let's say
humidity?
New England.
You
Huh?
think you think humidity's worse here in Ohio than it is in
Washington? Yeah.
Washington?
Washington, Oregon,
Really?
I think the humidity's worse the further east you go.
Yes.
Really?
I mean, we get humid out here in San Diego, which is very rare, but it does happen. I mean, last year it got really humid where I ended up falling and cracking a couple of ribs because I
Ouch.
just got so heat exhaustion, passed out.
That's not good.
Gotta stay hydrated, buddy. Gotta stay hydrated.
You can stay hydrated, but if it gets, if you're working so hard and it's hot, staying hydrated ain't gonna help you. I mean, it's not gonna do as much as getting out of the damn heat and stop working in the middle of the day.
Well,
There's
take
a
breaks
a point where you gotta
maybe.
stop. All the hydration and all that, it's only gonna do so much. Yeah, that's why we stopped. Once it got close to 90, because in Houston it's also humid. That's
Very
subtropical.
humid. Now,
That's subtropical.
southeast is very humid.
Yeah, that's subtropic down there. So yeah, it was. Oh yeah, same here, Terry. It saps the strength right out of you. And now that I'm as old as I am, it's even worse. It's even worse. It's way worse. Yeah, now that I'm seasoned.
Yeah, it seems like the older I get, the harder it is to deal with
does.
heat and cold.
Yeah, and both of them have been hitting me the last few years harder and harder, to the point where I don't want to go outside in the wintertime anymore at
Right.
all. I don't even want to go to the store.
All right, Rob. Sorry. We better let you talk.
Okay, back to Rob.
So
Because it's all about Rob. It's not about Me and Ed.
Yeah, so the past
next
couple of
week.
years, I go to Arizona to do the mining with Scott Swiftwater, Tony.
Yeah.
There is gold there. I know that.
Yeah.
I found it myself. During the summertime, I go out to the beach, but usually my best time year for metal detecting is wintertime. So I kind of had to give up. Should I go out mining for gold or go out metal detecting for gold? Gold rings instead of gold nuggets. So it's like I took a chance.
Gold is gold.
Yeah. I gamble.
Gold is gold, right? Rings or nuggets. They all weigh the same.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so what are you having? Are you having better luck with the rings or the nuggets? I mean, because
be honest with you, I find a lot. Just to give you an example, let me turn this off so you guys can see. I know this green screen doesn't do any justice. This is just a jar full of rings.
wow.
Is that from when you got back?
No, this is the past. No, this is the past couple of years combined.
From the beach?
Yeah, and this thing is full of earrings, necklaces, bracelets.
Now, do you melt them down and make buttons and stuff, or?
The junk silver, I will melt them down. As a matter of fact, I have no idea where my button is. Thanks for reminding me. I have one button left that I have actually melted down.
So what do you consider junk silver?
Junk silver, basically, it's damaged beyond repair. So I just melt the rings, necklaces. If the necklaces are broken,
right?
It's smashed. It's not saving the rings because a lot of times I'll find rings that have been damaged by lawnmowers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I'll melt them down into a button.
Right.
Usually I do them about an ounce each.
Cool.
So I melted down 5. So that gives you an idea how many rings that may have been. 5 ounces.
That's a lot of rings.
And I do sell a lot of my jewelry that I find. This jar's got a bunch of silver necklaces that I'm ready to sell.
Now, do you ever,
what's that?
When possible, do you ever return them?
Oh yeah, I usually wait 6 months and then I'll sell them. If I can't find if nobody responds to my ads and tells me exactly whether, it's really easy to tell.
Right.
And I've got, like my class rings. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 class rings, and I've got them all back to the original owners.
Cool.
So
that's cool.
No, they don't mow the beaches in San Diego, David. It's the parts.
They do rake them though, right?
Some of the beaches do. And
there you go, David.
Yeah, they don't have beach rakes on every beach, No.
And I don't just normally stick around in San Diego, metal detector beaches there. I go way far north. I've gone up to Santa Monica. I've been metal detected in Jacksonville, Florida. Whenever I travel, I take my metal detector with me.
Right.
There you go.
You never know, you get an opportunity to go swing, take it.
Nice.
I hear that.
Definitely.
But, I started metal detecting. Well, actually, I started prospecting back in the 90s. It was, I think, 97 when I joined GPAA. And I was up in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and that's where my name comes from. I was out in the western part of Wyoming on a claim, and I found my very first 1 gram picker when I picked it up. So the guy says, "Hey man, you just found your first Wyoming gold."
Why
Gold
gold?
nugget. So WyGold.
Why gold? Okay, it's not WY, it's Wyoming gold. Gotcha.
Wyoming Gold. WY abbreviated for state of
It's Wyoming, right? Duh.
because when I put out all
Duh.
of it, it's too long of a name. So I just shortened
Right.
it.
What, your name ain't long already? Gee, that
I don't know. Look at Indiana Gold Dealer Scotty.
Oh, yeah,
That's a
there's
short name.
another long one. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Or that
course,
Thomas
because it's so-
Pennyway Folks,
because-
you know.
Right.
So, I bought a White's, I think it was an MXT or something like that back in the 90s to try to metal detect for gold. And I just didn't have any luck, and I just turned around and sold it. I didn't think metal detecting was all that great,
Right.
I just rather use gold pan, rocker box, sluice box, high banker, stuff like that.
Right.
Fast forward 20 years, I went through a pretty bad time in my life and just happened to be on a class action lawsuit against a school that I attended and graduated from. They lied to us. So I got a nice sized check and it's like, well, what am I going to do with it? Well, why not go to the beach? So I started looking on YouTube and trying to figure out what metal detector to get that I can use for the beach, parks, fields, and prospect.
Right.
And then I got hooked ever since.
Nice.
So it's not the metal detector. It's not the. You got hooked to the metal detector, right?
I had the dream of owning the top of the line metal detector.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Oh,
whatever your dream is,
I was like, well, I don't have $2,500 for this machine, so I'm going to start out what I can afford.
Sure.
So,
I hear you.
bought a
Like you should. Like you should.
bought a metal detector for $800. And
Right.
that's a little pricey for a beginner.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It is. But so is $2,500 or $3,500.
Yeah.
So, oh, look who finally showed up.
Yeah,
Radio.
Ronald. Better late than never, Ert. But where were you last week, Ronald? We do pay attention,
So you got any plans? You got any plans for this coming up season? Anything special?
I'm going to be hitting the beaches all summer. 4th of July is my big day. It's when I get to the beach around 9:00 p.m. and I don't leave the beach until noon the next day. So I'm there all night long.
Wow.
Wow.
You're there when the grunion run, huh?
Wow, that's gotta be a pretty big task. And I imagine you're not the only one out there.
Where I hunt at, I'm usually the only one out there because
Really?
everybody's heading further north where they find the better stuff. Well, that doesn't always mean that you're going to find good stuff. I do find good stuff in where I hunt at, and a lot of it is very old. I'll give you an example. One of my finds that I found at the beach, which I didn't expect, was a Alabama tax token.
At the beach in California, there's...
Yeah. And I found this little lighter.
Oh, cool.
This is from the 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Old
then,
propane lighter? Or is it like a Zippo?
It's made by Ronson. So you just...
Ronco, it's a Bronson?
Ronson.
Yeah, it's a butane.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Zippo. It had the cotton in there.
Oh, it does.
Okay,
Oh, it's
so
a
it
regular.
take lighter fluid.
So it's free butane then.
This one might be my oldest as far as relic-wise at the beach.
Oh,
Oh,
button.
nice
Military button.
button.
Military button, and it's got the shank on it too.
Did you find that near Pendleton?
No. The beach that I hunt at was part of a military base at one time, and it became pretty much a town after the war.
Oceanside?
But I do find a lot of cool things, and I finally found my very first pocket watch, and it was out in the countryside in San Diego. And it's one of those dollar-sized watches.
Oh,
Give you an example. Like here's
glasses, huh? Yeah.
here's an Ike. And it's just a little bit bigger, so they call them dollar watches. And it's got the guts inside.
Oh, cool.
And then but in 10 feet of that, I found a harmonica reed.
Dollar watch.
Now, was that up inland in the mining areas
That was
by Julian or?
that was in Santee.
Oh, Santee. Ain't there some gem mines out towards Santee and stuff though?
I think you're talking about the tourmaline mine,
Yeah.
which might be a little bit further northeast of there, going towards Julian.
Okay.
Huh. I guess it was called a dollar watch because that's what they cost. I'm reading it right now. Dollar watch was a pocket watch or later a wristwatch that sold for about $1 US.
And
Right.
that's not the only one. I also found remnants of another one, and this one I found at the beach.
Oh, cool.
Just wish I would have found the innards.
Now, is that gold or brass?
It's brass.
Hey, Kenneth, how are you doing, legend?
Kenneth, what's up,
Mountain
Kenneth?
Man
Okay.
Ken's in the house.
Yeah, I thought that was neat, Terry. Like sold for $1. That's what they're called, dollar watches.
One of the common things I find at the beach, believe it or not, kitchen utensils.
Kitchen. Well, yeah.
From the picnickers.
Knives, spoons, tongs. I mean, this whole bag is full of.
How far back does it go? I mean, as far as, wow. What's your oldest piece there?
What's that?
What's your oldest piece of flatware?
Right here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And it's sterling silver.
Yeah, I
Nice.
see that. Pickle fork.
And then I have another one. This one's, I think, plated, silver plated, but this one's different.
They're saying I had that pickle fork here a minute ago. Where'd it go?
But I do find a lot of coins. I do find a lot of fishing weights. When I find fishing weights, I get really excited because then I know gold's going to be somewhere nearby.
You know, I was going to ask you about that. When you mentioned a little while ago how further up the beach, up to the north, you said, I think, that those people up there are finding better, and where you're at, you're still finding good yourself.
Yeah.
It popped into my mind is because, like, we know water will move gold and metals and stuff around, and water can be really powerful along the beach. Have you been able to figure out any kind of pattern with, especially like with the older stuff? You know what I mean?
Well, the reason why you find more good stuff further north is because the beach I hunt at is actually pretty toxic. Okay. It's like right by the U.S. international border with Mexico, and all the sewage from Mexico is flowing north. So people don't want to be down there anymore, so they go further north to like Mission Beach, Ocean Beach, Pacific Beach, La Jolla. La Jolla is very famous for the wealthy people to go hang out, but it's also one of the most hard hit metal detecting spots along beaches and
Well, sure.
Do you
So-
go to like Encinitas and Cardiff and stuff?
Oh yes, I have, and I've even gone all the way up to Oceanside. I just hop on the train and just take Amtrak up there, and you just go metal detecting. You know, I found a buffalo nickel and a war nickel in Oceanside once.
GoPro Unlimited. How do you
Yep,
plot
question.
out an area to detect, Rob?
Well, usually, when I first started out, I would just hit the dry because the machine I had wasn't capable to handle the salt water until I got a better machine. And then once I got another machine, I just went from the towel line where everybody just hangs out, which is usually a high tide mark. And then I start going down back and forth. I do a grid pattern. And I also look for low line areas where we have spots in the sand that's going to be up higher than the little lower spots. That's where I'm going to go generally.
Right.
Yes, BM, Ohio Relic Hunter. I had one time I was detecting up in Pacific Beach, and this guy came up to me. He was actually carrying a CTX 3030, and he said, "Everything you find on this beach belongs to him." And I said,
Screw you.
"What did you say?" I had my sand scoop in my hand, and this was one of those really heavy duty ones that was welded together. And I said, "Gee, you're messing with the wrong person." He
Right.
eventually apologized to me, but every time he sees me on the beach, he turns around and goes the opposite direction. So he realized I wasn't going to play around. This is a public place. I can be here as much as you can. Now, whether I want to go cross your paths and get in front of you and all that's up to the debate if I really want to get down that road. But I'm here to metal detect for myself. So I'm going to go further away from you. And I do that. And a lot of people do that. They want to be in that one little spot. And yes, you get some people that get a little territorial, shall I say, especially when it's really negative low tides and you got dozens of people out there. I've seen upwards to 30 people at the beach at one time with a metal detector. And that's not a club hunt.
Oh,
So metal detecting has exploded out here along the beaches because a lot of people see what's going on YouTube, especially like my channel. And when I started my channel, I just wanted to show what I found.
right.
You know?
Well, and especially with the last few years, with everything going on, the last few years, more people have been at home watching YouTube videos. So yeah, I think that's happening in not just metal detecting, but all the treasure hunting aspect. People are getting going outside. You know, even after all this time, you know, there's still people that are finally going outside.
So
But for the most part,
detectorists there are a lot like the surfers there, huh? Territorial.
they can be. But, you know, a lot of them are friendly. They'll come up and talk to you, see what, you know, hey, find anything good today? Just jump. Where in reality, you're like, I got my 5 rings.
Right?
I
Yeah,
got
you
gold.
got your
No,
yeah,
full
you show the
tabs.
junk. You show the junk pouch.
Yeah, here's what I found. Some bull
Yeah, I found this
tabs,
is all
some
I
bottle
found, yeah.
caps. I stepped on this Corona cap. Cut my heel, had to go
Broken
back
character.
home.
Yeah.
Of
Of course, everybody does that. So.
A lot of my detecting is at night. That way I don't have a lot of people disturbing me on the beach when I'm out there during the daytime, because I do get people that come up to me and ask me, hey, did you play anything cool? Or they'll just follow me and they'll, hey, it's all right.
Right.
But, it does get annoying,
Right. Especially if it's distracting from what you're doing.
But,
It's okay to watch from afar.
Yeah.
Maybe even have a little chat, but that can be distracting.
I'll have a couple that'll be standing there. They'll be a good 10 feet away, and they'll just be watching me digging a hole, and I'll pull out maybe a coin. Say, just a quarter. They just mows it down. No problem.
Yeah. Then they go,
A handful
Mark,
of stinking Lincolns.
yeah. She
I
looks
have-
at him and goes, see, that's why you're not getting one. All you can do is find quarters and nickels and pennies.
Our
You
friend
won't
David
spend any of your
V,
money.
our buddy David V, said, do you drag a chain behind you to cover an area, Rob?
I'll just take my sand scoop and just drag it behind me as I'm walking, because I swing with this arm and I dig with this one, so I just drag it behind me and I'll figure out where I'm at. And that's another way of saying to other people, hey, somebody's been here.
Yep.
Let's go further down and let's go that way,
It's like marking your territory.
But somebody
It's
can find something
everybody's
pretty
neat.
cool. Somebody can find something pretty cool that I may have missed.
And here's the other thing about metal detecting too. And even I know, and I wouldn't even consider myself a metal detector, though I have a couple. Is that I can go over one spot and not catch anything, not find anything, not hear anything. Doesn't detect anything. That could go behind me and he finds something, or anybody. So yeah, it's hit and miss a lot of times. Just because they didn't find anything doesn't mean you can't look.
Full of gold. I've had a couple kids actually jump on my back while I was trying to metal detect at the beach, and I had screamed at them to get away from me, and they were harassing me. And these were like 7, 8-year-olds. So
Get away, you little punk.
parents didn't care. They just let their kids run amok. That's why I prefer to hunt at night, so I don't have to mess with stuff. And yes, it's dangerous at night too, because you got all kinds of weird people out, homeless to drug addicts to people up to no good.
Right.
And it gets dangerous. So a lot of times I usually have somebody with me.
Yeah, that's probably wouldn't be a good idea to walk around at night in a place like that with headphones on.
Yes, when it rains and I hit the parks, BM, the weather, the ground being wet does amplify the signals better. So
It amplifies it.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wet ground amplifies it. So
When
what?
Yeah,
like,
you get
I'll go to the park.
a better signal when the ground's moist.
How come I was thinking the opposite?
I don't know. Dyslexia
Well, I
kicking in.
No, I thought I heard that, it's not, metal detecting in wet ground wasn't very productive.
Well,
know.
we're not talking like total saturated.
No,
Well, no, I realize
because then
that.
you're getting muddy and like that.
No, I realize that, but I just heard that if the ground was wet, it'd be harder to detect. So don't bother.
So like,
But I got it now. That's all about not letting me go out metal detect when the ground's wet, so they can be out there. Got it. You gotta watch out for these treasure hunters, man. They're tricky rascals.
and I've gotten people that come up to me and say, "Hey, man, I watch your channel when I'm at the beach," and say, "I want to buy me a metal detector," or "I actually bought me a metal detector." I say, "Well, good luck.
Yeah.
I hope you do well. Just don't give up." I've helped kids out. There was a little, I want to say maybe a 12-year-old boy. His dad was walking in with him. He had a brand new metal detector and wanted to kid-friendly metal detectors, and
Right.
a couple of quarters in the sand and say, hey, why don't you go check that spot? Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, go ahead and dig it up. You'd be happy. Oh, I found quarters. Just help them out.
Hey, that's again, that's something that we push here. Get them kids interested, man. Make it easy for them. That's the trick right there. Make it easy for them. For someone starting off, make it easy for them, and they'll get.
I do notice not a lot of women are metal detecting. It's majority grumpy old farts like myself.
Yeah, there needs to be more women out there in all fingers of treasure hunting.
Well, I was thinking there's more now than there have been in the past.
Well, there is.
It's not a takeover, or anything
Maybe
like
the
that.
women don't want to hang around with a bunch of old farts.
Oh, that's what it is. They don't like us.
I know when I was in Georgia a couple years ago,
Well, the young guys ain't doing it, so
That's what they're stuck with, old farts.
that's right.
When I was in Georgia, a lady actually messaged me on Facebook saying she wants to get a metal detector, and I told her, well, depending on your price, what can you afford? And I pointed her in the right direction. I tried to help her out as much as I can, and a couple years later, I believe she's now doing ring recoveries. So
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you have something that you like to look for more than anything else? I mean, like, would you rather find a ton of coins or a bunch of jewelry or a lot of history?
well, that's up to debate, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing at that time.
Okay, I mean, like, some people get off on coins. That's what they look for. That's what their main interest is, looking for coins, right?
Well, yeah, coin shooters.
Yeah.
Right, and then you got people that are into the strictly looking for jewelry, looking for people's lost stuff, right? Then you got people that are into relics, history of areas, Civil War or old architecture and stuff like that. So there are people that do specialize. I'm just wondering if you specialize.
I dig it all.
Dig it all. Hey, that's a specialty.
I dig it all. I dig it all.
Terry Curry wants to know, what's your dream detector, Rob? Probably what you got, right?
I already got it.
What's that? CT6000 or whatever?
TTX 3030.
Oh, there you go. There's a nice detector.
It took me 3 years to get it.
Yeah.
And that's selling gold, cashing in the coins, selling a detector just to get that.
So why did you pick that one? Did you pick it because of its ability, how deep it can go, or what?
Not because
what makes that your dream machine?
Well, not just because of the price. Everybody's got to have the best of the best, This one, I actually can manage to work in the water without the salt water, without the machine going haywire. I can program it to where I can only dig at certain targets. So if I'm, let's say, just going after gold, I'll turn that mode on and I'll pick up gold. And yes, I will pick up other coins too, but I'm leaving a lot of stuff behind.
You're not hearing the trash.
Yeah.
So you're not a zero discrimination detectorist then. You'll discriminate a bit.
I do discriminate a lot, and I do
wrong with that?
targets.
No, to each their own. If you don't really want to relic hunt or trash collect, you cherry pick and set your discriminations and.
But like I said, it just happens to be on a certain day. If I go to the beach tomorrow, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and start on beach one and just go at it, and I'm going to find everything. But usually, I don't find bottle caps with this machine. Pull tabs.
That's good.
Pull tabs.
Pull tabs. Yes. Everybody finds pull tabs. They're like, hey, you can't discriminate against pull tabs. They're there. David, don't be a squealer.
But some aluminum sounds so good, you know.
Yes,
I
it
know.
does, and I do find a
It
lot of
flips.
cans.
Because like with my mine lab, if I use my monster out here, out in the field or whatever, it sounds so good. It's not iron. It's got to be something good, you know. Aluminum foil, yay!
You're like, that sounds like it could be a nugget. The number's right on my Knox, so it's
Yeah.
oh shoot.
Yeah. But other than that, you know, I do go out in the deserts at times, and that was before I came out to Scott's mine out there. You know, I like to collect bottles, so
Oh,
here's one of them.
cool. Oh, it's nice and purple too.
And it was just
nice.
laying right there on the surface.
Been
Very
sitting
nice.
out in the California desert for a while.
Arizona.
That was Arizona. Arizona. Okay. Out in the Arizona desert for a while.
The Canadian hillbilly says, I found some spooky stuff on a volleyball court. Someone cut up a section of chain link fence. That begs the question: have you ever found where someone has, well, let's say, baited you guys, metal detectors with a bunch of crap laying all over the place? You could tell it was on purpose.
No, but I did at one time. I was at a Coronado late at night, and these kids were hanging out at the lifeguard tower. Of course, the lifeguard tower is closed up and all that, and they kept throwing pennies out. So eventually I caught on when I happened to look over the corner of my eye. It goes like this. It's like, I'm going away. You guys continue throwing your coins out there. I'll come back in a few minutes.
Yeah, wait till they leave.
Here's another bottle. This one I actually found on the claim.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
an older
Old
Pepsi
Pepsi
bottle. Nice.
Yeah, I probably yelled back at him, hey man, at least throw quarters.
Right.
Yeah.
Throw your dollars.
Yeah.
I won't pass up a B. Anthony or
Right.
all adds up.
This is my most expensive find I've ever found.
Ooh, binoculars.
Binoculars?
Night
Then
vision.
I just,
Night vision.
wow.
Now, do you strap those on your head when you go out now?
No, I don't think this is. It's so corroded, it's not even worth it. But these things retail $10,000.
Yeah.
Someone's bummed they lost those.
And judging by this, it was military.
I was gonna say, is there any military numbers on it? There's usually gonna be either a USN number, USA
Yeah.
number.
Man, my brother who works in the Navy, you know, he's a chief or something like that now. He said it's just a waste. Just throw it away. They're not going to want it back. They got plenty of them that they buy.
Oh,
Yeah, they're only $10,000 a dozen.
They had enough to leave a lot in Afghanistan.
I've had people say you should go send it into the manufacturer and have them repair it. And I'm like, well, it's all fine and dandy, but I don't really need it at night. I got a headlamp, and it's usually on red. Because red's really good for your eyes at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. For what advantage it would give you wouldn't be worth the cost of fixing it.
But yeah, I'm also a sucker for cans. If I find a can on the ground and it's unique, I'll pick it up. Like, for instance, this is some milk can, lead soldered.
All right.
And this one you probably can't really tell, but it's a Budweiser.
Well, Budweiser can, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was laid out the
That's
desert.
an antique right there.
Here's a razor.
Ooh, nice sharp
I found
one
this
there.
last year.
Ah, nice.
Was headed down to the claim, and I had
You
to
bet.
come across it.
Give that a little hone, you could use it again. Hey, RST.
There you go. There's some gold. I know some of
Gold.
you guys wanted to see it. Gold.
Yeah, definitely that no gold in Utah guys. They need to see other people's gold since they have no gold in Utah.
Right.
Bullshit.
Nice. Beep.
Beep.
I actually found this in a trading post.
Oh,
Kind of like,
boy, those are nice too.
Oh, cool.
And the nice thing is, it's full of newspaper articles.
Oh, sweet.
From World War One.
Oh, wow.
Because it talks about some of the German people. I'm not going to name names, but yeah, it was all in there. I think this one might have a date. Nope, they cut it off. Topeka,
That's bad.
Kansas.
Topeka.
But it shows pictures of, like, that's World War One.
Oh yeah. Well,
And the guy
is that the Gaul? Wait a
World
minute,
War
is that the
II
Gaul?
looked like Himmler.
That looks like World War II.
Himmler and.
I see the Gaul there. No, no. That's World War One.
Too bad there's no dates on any of it at all. That's a cool
I tried
find.
to look, but the guy who sold me the tin cans didn't even know it was in there. So
He didn't. Why, you never opened them?
no, never opened them. This one still has tobacco in it. Couple strands of the tobacco.
Well, don't smoke it. That'd be a pretty stale bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Prince Albert can that I found at out in the
I
desert.
got one of those. We were safe than that.
I saw a video where a guy found a Prince Albert can with claim papers in it.
Yeah, that some people did use that as a way to keep their claim papers protected from the weather.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually, you find it in a stack of rocks, not on a post. Because if you find back in the old days, they didn't use posts; they just stacked rocks.
Right.
Back rock. And then they put it inside there.
A lot of states that's still legal too.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Oh yeah, true, David. Sometimes you can find tin cans with nuggets in them, or gold coins.
There's this little tin that I found, and of course it's probably dirt or something inside it. But
Oh, snuff! Open it up. Take a pinch.
I bet you that was like a bomb, like a tire bomb.
This one, inside of it, I was hoping there might be some gold, but it was just turmeric. That's all it was.
Oh.
Dried up turmeric.
Yep. The other one, that little one, looks like some kind of salve or something container. Like Tiger Bomb comes in a container like that.
Lip
or
balm?
even.
Yeah. But I can shake it. I can hear something rattling around in it.
Open it. Open it.
It could just be rust, or it could be whatever contents was in it. But yeah, I do find silver coins a lot.
Now, so far today, your most expensive find were the night vision. What's your favorite find?
They're all favorite.
They're all favorite.
Yeah, just being able to go out and doing this and just having fun, is probably the most favorable.
Right, you don't have a favorite thing, you just have a, okay, let me ask you this then. What was your favorite time going out metal detecting?
Before COVID,
Before COVID?
yeah,
Not so much anymore? Is it getting better? No?
no,
And why is that?
you couldn't go on the beach during COVID.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that's right. You are in California, so
Yeah.
Right, I know,
So,
but now that's all over with, right?
now that that's all over with, the crowds haven't gone back, and you get more
Oh,
and more
okay.
people out there swinging metal detectors, so that you get more and more competition. And yeah, I'm all for anybody who wants to go out and swing a detector and find whatever they can.
The only problem is nobody's going out to the beach to be on the beach. Everybody's going out to the beach to metal detect. Kind of defeats the purpose, huh?
And from a couple of my guys that I know here locally that go out detecting when I was gone during the wintertime, they said there's hardly anything out there. They're not finding hardly anything. So
Wow.
it just depends on where you're going. Now, if we go further north, like I say, if I was to go to Santa Monica, and I've gone there plenty of times, yeah, I'm more likely going to find some gold and some silver,
Right.
regardless of how many people are out there swinging. Because these beaches, they're pretty big. They're not your typical little tiny things. You got
Miles long.
miles and miles long.
Right.
Every mile or so, there's a lifeguard tower. And it just keeps going.
So is there any place that you want to go to?
Where I want to go to?
That you haven't been to yet, that you'd like to go to?
Alaska.
Alaska?
I mean, I've been to Alaska, but not for this.
What would you metal detect there?
Uh,
Or would you metal detect there?
yeah, I would be metal detecting, but I also would be mining. I'd be going out looking for gold and chicken, or even
Right.
in Juneau. I mean, that's one of my bucket lists is to get to Juneau before my 50th. So that's coming pretty close. A couple more years. I want to be able to hit it up.
Anywhere else?
Was that the hypothetical or?
No, just where you'd like to go.
I'm
I
not really
agree.
100% sure.
Australia, New
Oh yeah, Australia
Zealand,
for mining, but as far as metal detecting,
Tasmania.
Well, they do pretty good metal detecting in Australia too. You know?
Yeah, look at Full
Hey.
of Gold. He found some great stuff, and Brad, and
I mean, there your odds of finding something big is better than here. Not that you can't find it, but the odds are better there. That you're gonna find something.
I think the New England area is where I want to go for a metal detecting aspect, especially because of the older. I mean, you got places out there from the 1700s out here in the West.
Right.
what do you
I mean, yeah,
mean?
you got Spanish missions, but as far as population growth, they didn't happen until mid 1800s.
I
So all
was,
the cool stuff is
I was
over.
gonna say the West Coast has been populated since the 1600s.
Yeah, but like I said, you're dealing with Spanish, and it was pretty much more spread out. And once gold rush happened in 1849, California was already getting populated as it is from people coming in from Mexico with the land grants and stuff like that. And this was before the state became
Right.
union.
And we had people coming from the east too. So
Yeah, so
I mean,
the great expansion
hey,
west.
everybody everybody lost stuff on the way.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
to find a King George button, or not King George, George Washington button would be
Right.
cool.
That
that
would
would
be
be cool.
cool.
Sure. So
Finding
you
a
do,
large
you
cent
do,
in
you do
Ohio
have
would be cool.
something. You do have something that you would like to find. You know, a George Washington button.
Or even
Right,
a two decimal, and those are very hard to find.
Yeah. But yeah, you gotta go to the right spots, right? So in California, you can't look for stuff like that, but you can look for old Spanish
Reals and
reals, swords, shields. You know, lots of stuff to be found everywhere. We lose stuff every day.
Oh yeah, I mean one guy that I know has actually found a Spanish sword from the 1600s at the
Cool.
beach, just
Mhm.
about a half a mile from where I was at.
oh wow.
And
Well, see, and that's why I was wondering if you've ever been able to track any kind of pattern to the movement of the metals along the beach. You know, because you say sometimes were I don't know, it just seems well because the ocean's a powerful thing; it will move everything around.
so when you have people like when they go out to the beach and they lay their towels along, usually it's going to be the high tide mark where the water comes
Well,
up the highest.
right.
Right. Well, a lot of times they lose their stuff and they go in the water to lose their stuff too. But the waves are also moving material away from the beach, especially during very high tides and full moons. So where the waves are coming up to the boardwalk and washing stuff back, and a lot of times the heavy stuff they just keep sinking, and once you get a good enough tide that comes through and gives you a nice cut where you got the sand that goes whoop, like that and then down, that's where you go hitting, and you're going to find a lot of the older stuff too.
Okay, so it's the water action isn't really moving the material along the beach
It's
as much as it's
acting like
moving
it's
it
supposed
in and out, right?
Well,
It's moving the
it
material
depends
in
on
and out.
depends
I'm
on
talking
what
about the sands and that stuff, not the heavies, right? 'Cause that's
sands will come in and they'll wash away,
and then
depending on the
the heavies
storms too.
and the heavies keep dropping down. Okay.
And storms will play a big role, and they'll take sand away. And a lot of times the government will come by and replenish the sand by either dredging it out in the ocean and putting all fresh sand. And there could be some stuff that may have been lost.
Oh, that could have dressed some stuff up, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like one of the class rings I found, the guy had lost it back in 1981 or 82 or something like that. He was in the Navy. And no, it was 83. He lost it in the middle of the bay. Well, how did it get up on shore? Well, they were dredging the middle of the bay to replenish part of the area I was at. And I just happened to stumble across it.
When did you find that?
That was before the pandemic.
Oh, well. There's a lot of years before the
2019,
pandemic.
I think. That was 2019. I was featured in a Pennsylvania newspaper.
Oh, cool. I worked for a reclamation dredge company out of Washington, and I was dredging in San Diego Harbor, but that was the 90s.
Well, this was in the Mission Bay, where you have this island.
Oh, I know Mission Bay.
Like up in Oceanside, they'll go into the Oceanside harbor and they'll dredge that up and replenish the Oceanside beaches with sand.
Yeah, we had our discharge hose going to the beach, replenishing a beach. It was a long time ago, though I kind of forget. But it was San Diego, and the Navy SEALs were a pain in the butt. They would run over our discharge hose and mess it up all the time. all the time. Down, cat. Down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. In this jar, there's a lot of shells that I find along the beach. Bullets.
Is that close to Pendleton by any chance?
No, that's right where they do the Navy SEAL training in Coronado.
Oh, okay, okay.
Silver Strand. And I found live rounds, discharge rounds, a lot of blanks. This is just one of the jars.
Boy, 1 year in Cub Scouts, or was it Boy Scouts, we were camped out at Pendleton, and I found so many blanks. Tons and tons and tons. We made belts and all kinds of stuff out of them.
At some point, brass is going to be expensive.
Oh yeah, Jesse. Paul C is not Paul Carr.
I know you said that last week. I asked last week.
Yeah, we met over the
Did you?
weekend during Fossack, yes.
Oh, cool.
David, Golden Gate Park would be interesting, especially because I was born at the Susan B. Hayes Hospital right there at the Presidio, which is now a bunch of luxury apartments.
Oh, yeah, I used to live in Oakland Stadium. Right there at the Panhandle.
What, there's no base at Presidio now?
No. Not
No?
after the 90s base closures.
Huh. I lived right there at the corner of Oak and Stadium, or Stadium. Right there where the Panhandle and Golden Gate Park meet.
I can't remember where my parents had their apartment. Of course.
Yeah, right there, at the end of Haight-Ashbury. The next.
It was where all the hippies were, Rob.
I used to hang out on Hippie Hill and stuff. Hang out with Gravy.
And that's where my mother first learned how to drive a car in San Francisco. A manual, mind you. She learned real quick how to drive.
Yeah, you do. That's a tricky place to learn to drive.
She
come from learn to drive. Holy.
Yeah, she come from Hawaii to San Francisco, and it was a big culture change shock to her.
Oh, I bet. When was that?
1972.
Oh yeah, I was there, hanging out on Hippie Hill.
And we got a picture of her where she's standing there. I can't remember where it was at, but she's got her bell bottoms, and she's like, that little do-raggy thing that she wore.
Oh, hey, your mom was a hippie chick.
For a little bit, yeah. I'm sure she probably dabbled in some of the cool stuff they had going on during that time. I'm trying to be polite and not.
I already blew that when I cursed.
Who?
His mom.
Oh.
She was in San Francisco the same time I was, so yeah, she was a hippie chick. or a square.
Flower child. She was
Flower child.
Went from there to Fort Ord. 78. From Fort Ord until 83. And 83, my dad retired from the Army. And we headed over to the East Coast, lived in Virginia. And that's where I kind of got interested in the Civil War. But what really drove me into a lot of history is the Old West. Wyatt Earp, the Gold Rush, the old ghost towns. I do have a passion for going out and venturing out to those neighborhoods when I can.
That's cool. I like ghost towns and old mines and stuff myself. None of that out here, as you know, but when I was out on the West Coast.
I liked traveling around, hiking around the deserts and the mountains and stuff when I was out there. It was a great time.
And I've ventured into some abandoned mines too, and yeah, it's not smart.
Sorry, Mona. Hippie chicks only come once an eon. You know, they had to been born in the 50s to be old enough to be a hippie chick.
Well, she's a wannabe hippie chick.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay too, Mona. We might have had a hippie van, but my parents were far from hippies. But we ended up parking with all the other Volkswagen vans on our travels. So we parked around quite a few hippies.
Ohio relic hunters being nostalgic too. He says back in the 80s.
Right. I think that's a little post-hippieism, Bill. Hey, Grapevines, how you doing, Mike?
Hair
That's a big hair era.
era. Yeah.
When I used to have a lot of hair.
No, in the 80s.
Oh, the 80s. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big hairband
big
days.
hair.
Yeah.
A lot of hairband. And the girls with the teased hair.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
I'm hoping to get out and do some more medley cooking on the beaches and put more videos up. So I know a lot of my subscribers are probably going, man, he hasn't posted anything in a while. A lot of times I don't find much when the last few times I did go out, I haven't found much to really show. It's who wants to see a bunch of pull tabs and beaver tails and fishing weights.
Is there a beach you'd like to hit? You haven't been able to get to?
Jersey City.
Jersey City?
Jersey.
Well, what do you think you'll find there?
The board. Atlantic City. That's what it was.
On the boardwalk?
Yeah.
Under the boardwalk.
The casinos.
Huh?
Now, while you're in Jersey, you might as well go up to New York to Dead Horse Bay.
Oh yeah.
And do some mudlarking.
Oh, I want to too. And while I'm there, I can go see where my dad grew up in the Bronx.
Cool.
It's not the nicest place around. It hasn't been in a long time, but
there's worse neighborhoods.
Secret Creek Prospector says he like to go. He like to hit Alcatraz Island, the beaches. Is there a beach there?
Alcatraz is a state park. I doubted that would happen.
Yeah, you ain't going to the state park?
No.
That's a historical park, so they're not going to allow anything like that.
Some handcuffs.
Heath, how you doing, Heath?
He's Fatty's Adventures.
Oh.
I wanted to say hi to Kyle, King Prospecting. What's up? Angel Island said would be better. All right, Jaron. A lot of history. Angel Island.
Phone got hacked. Uh-oh.
That's what he said.
Those damn hackers.
Damn hackers.
Now, have you... what's the farthest north you've been? Santa Barbara? Never hit like Morro Bay or Monterey Bay?
Oh, no. Not yet.
Santa Cruz?
Santa Barbara is pretty much furthest north I won't hit. I thought about wanting to go along Tillamook and Coos Bay area, go out in that neck of the woods up in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's not going to be a lot. It's people only go out there, a month or two out of the year. Other than that, it's too cold and too wet. Unlike down here in Southern California.
Right. Now, there's always beach mining around Gold Run and Gold Beach, and even in California, like my mom's from Northern California, Aptos on Monterey Bay, and they actually mined the beach in the 1800s there. And there's tons of gold that all go to the sea. So,
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. Wouldn't there be gold all along the coast of California?
you would think.
Would think.
The current flows south along the Pacific, unlike the East Coast that flows north. So
There's a lot of spots along the beaches here, and I had somebody come up to me one day, ask me, "Hey, Mister, is that gold right there, shining through the water in the sands?" I'm like, "No, that's just mica. It's just rose gold." But there is gold.
Portland, Oregon, or Portland,
I actually want to go hit up
Maine?
one park in Portland, and that's because I know I lost something there, and I'm sure it's already been found.
There's somebody who might know. Rock Butcher. Is there gold along the coast of California?
Of
All
course
along
there
it.
is.
I mean, that's something we could get into.
All right, Kirk, have a great one, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
Where is he at?
Kirk? He's
No,
in Washington
Butcher.
State.
No,
I
no,
don't
Rock Butcher.
know. Danger in the bush is huge here. This whole place is about to burn. Well,
Oh yeah,
he's
it's a
up in
tinderbox up there.
Canada.
Yeah, he says it should be on the coast if it drains the deposits in the mother lode.
Well, there's
That's
more
awesome.
gold in California than just the mother lode. Northern California is very rich up in the Siskiyous that drain into Northern California. And there's
So that would make
gold in the
sense.
coastal range, and gold in Southern California, Orange County, San Diego County. That's
Oh, yeah,
right. We can say that too, huh, Kyle? No gold in California. It's all in Canada. It's all in Ontario and Rock Butcher's backyard. Oh, he ain't in Ontario though. I think he might be in. He might be in Ontario. I forget. I forget.
It was in 1994. I was working for the California Department of Forestry, and it was up in Julian. And this guy goes, "You want to see gold?" So yeah, goes run up to the top of that hill, and we had a water tank. Goes grab some dirt along that road. So I grabbed some dirt, came back, and he put it in a pan, and he painted it out, and there was about 3 colors. So there's some gold. And then I got hooked on it since.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing.
You have gold in Scotland, blistering barnacles.
Oh yeah.
Some pretty nice gold, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Scotland, Ireland, Northern England.
Is there gold in this? Who's from Scotland? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ireland, yeah, England, there's gold.
There's gold all over, except for
Except
California,
Hawaii.
Utah, Hawaii.
Yeah, Utah.
California. Kyle said California has no gold. It's all a myth. It's a myth.
Yeah, that gold rush thing back in 1849, that was just a gimmick.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They just
Just wanted
wanted
to
to get
get
people
people
out
out.
here fast.
Don't think that at all.
Yeah,
They
he
didn't leave
says there's
nothing.
don't bother going to the East Coast. There's no gold on the East Coast either. During the heat.
You're close to Monterey Bay and stuff. Head towards try Monterey Bay by Aptos.
There you go, Kyle. Don't know until you try it, right?
All your gold is here now.
Yeah, we got it all, Rock Butcher.
Was it Gold Beach in Oregon that you can go out there and find some gold?
Gold Beach, Rogue River
And then you had
drains
Gold
off
Point,
there.
which-
Pardon?
Yeah, you also had Gold Point, which was along the I-5, getting towards Grants Pass and the Rogue.
Gold Hill and
Yeah, that's it, Gold Hill, not Gold Point.
very rich area. Yeah, I used to dredge in the Rogue River in that area.
So what kind of regulations would they have on the beach in California for that? You know everything's
Good
regulated in
question.
California.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, would they let you go on the beach with a
I think it's a lot like it is in Washington, Oregon, and like on Lake Superior. It has to be self-contained, no drawing water from the ocean. It can't drain. You can't have a pump draining right. It has to be a recirculating system, in other words.
But that's just your guess, right?
For California, it's just a guess.
Yeah,
But-
it could be no. They could say no. It's not
Well,
allowed.
I know people still mine the beach in California, so in places.
Like a self-contained recirculating deal. Just put it on the beach, have it hooked up to a battery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you can do that over in the San Gabriel, which is just outside of L.A. You can go.
Yeah, the East Fork San Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also sluice that river and stuff.
Just no gas motors whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, Cape Disappointment, Washington State. Yeah.
Now, that was the only place I can remember where you can drive on the beach and actually drive along the beach on your car. Oregon,
Right.
they stopped doing that, but it was that small portion of Washington State, which I believe was just north of Astoria and south of Cape.
Polly's Vancouver Island, James. He can't dredge at all or nothing up there.
Yeah, I can't argue with you, Rock Butcher, but that's too political for this show. Kenneth wants to be a guest on the show.
Oh, well.
He's got a lot of knowledge. The funny thing is,
That's
I
one
actually
wonderful
worked
man.
at the same factory with Ken back in
Really?
late 2000s, and we didn't know each other. We didn't know. I mean, we worked at the same factory.
Small
I used to work
world.
graveyards, and he was working day shifts.
Small world.
Yeah.
When he was a prospector, he could have taken me out to his claims, and we could have dug up some gold.
Could have.
The Goonies house, that's in Northwest Oregon.
Yeah, that's
up
Astoria.
by Haystack, Astoria.
Yeah, Astoria, and it's kitty corner from the Astoria Elementary School where the movie Kindergarten Cop was filmed at. The jail in Astoria is actually the Astoria Film Museum, where they have a lot of everything on the Goonies. And then, of course, a lot of the filming that's gone on in Oregon, like Free Willy, which was down further south.
I call Ken the legend for a reason, Rob. Because he's the legend. And if anyone knows Ken from goldprospectorspace.com, He's a wealth of knowledge. Are you a truffle shuffle now? Rob, do the truffle shuffle, Rob. BM wants you to do the truffle shuffle.
I actually was there in Astoria before the family put up a tarp to kind of block it. You know, I used to be able to go look by there, check it out. Pretty cool. You know, we respect the neighborhood. We weren't going up to the people's property. I mean, about 3 years later, they started putting tarps around because of the internet and people saying, "Go check out the Goonies place."
Oh man.
Yeah. And then the house just recently sold, and the guy's like said, "Nope, we're taking it back down, and we want people to see it, but just respect our privacy."
Right. Well, you know, it's funny you say that. You know that the house from the Amityville Horror, if you look on Google Maps, it's blacked out. They got the house blacked out.
And I did a lot of store resets where I'd go to different stores throughout Oregon and Washington. I was one of those guys that we would go to the aisles, take old products out, put some new products on, rearrange the shelves, maybe put the kitty aisle over, the kitty food over 2 aisles down, and the coffee over 3 aisles.
Reset the store.
Yeah. So a lot of times I wish I had a metal detector because then I would have been going out places and hitting it up. But back then, my wife didn't even like the idea of me talking about going out mining or prospecting. It's like, you get better ways of spending your money by taking care of me. You need to get a job too if you want to get a place. But anyways,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure
wanna go
you
down
said
that
that.
What?
Yeah.
Look at me when he says that.
Jim says that's their problem, bro.
I do eventually gonna pick up a couple more metal detectors. I've been looking at this new one called the Xterra Pro, made by Mind Lab, and the
Right.
price is pretty reasonable. I just got to figure out how I'm gonna come up with 300 bones. You know,
Make a button.
don't have enough gold
Hey,
for
you're out of
that. Yeah, I want to check out that one. There's some new ones that came out on the market, and I'm like, they're just upgraded versions of what I've already used in the past. Like the Manicore, that's just an upgraded E-Track in my opinion.
Mhm.
The 700 and 900 when it comes to the Equinox, they're just upgraded versions from the 6 and 8.
Right.
Never used a Garrett. I just never liked the tones of it. Always liked the tones that MindLab gave. It was just totally different from what Garrett Whites. To me, yeah, they were made in U.S., but not for what I wanted to hunt for. You know, they're great machines, and of course, bounty hunters. A lot of people start off with bounty hunters. They're great. They're good machines, but for what I was wanting to do, that's why I ended up spending $800 for my very first machine.
Yeah.
Finally got back because when I bought that Whites back in 97, 98, somewhere around there, it was like $200 at the pawn shop. And I didn't understand it, and I didn't have the patience at the time, so I just turned around and resold it.
Yeah, that's something you got to have at first with metal detector is patience to learn the machine.
Yeah.
Because until you learn it, you know, it's gonna until you learn it, it's a hassle. Till you get the feel of it. Understand.
I mean, when it comes to metal detecting, do I want to go treasure hunting with as the metal detecting aspect? Like, let's say Oak Island? No. Maybe like the Lost Peg Leg mine. I'd be definitely getting me a metal detector with the that's designed for that particular environment,
Right.
like the Gold Monster 1000 or the GPX 7000 or 6000, whatever the heck they call it now,
Right.
and go look for that old Lost Peg Leg mine. As far as like the Lost Dutchman, no, I'm not. That.
That's, that's. I wonder if they've LiDAR'd Superstition Mountain yet.
I'm sure they have.
They may have, and they may not be saying.
I know I would.
As far as me, I believe it's already been found, and it's part of history, and it's now. I want to say Goldfield, Arizona, is
Mhm.
probably where maybe the Lost Dutchman's mine may have been.
Well, it
I've
would
heard
hard.
some stories about that.
It seems like it would be hard for one guy over his lifetime by himself in secret to be able to pull all the gold out of a mine. I mean, look, you had the 49ers, they were all over California getting all the gold, but yet you can go out there and still find more. There's still nuggets, there's still, plenty of gold out there, even everywhere, right? It was
Yeah.
just hard for me to imagine that there was a mine that he would have picked it clean by himself.
Here's another treasure story. The Lost Breakvogel mine. And it's in western Nevada area. And researching the clues and all that, from what I've seen and I've watched videos of it and I read books about it, I know it's already been found and it's already been dug up and it's an old mine. So a lot of times these treasure stories, you gotta believe what you want to believe, and you gotta find the facts and stuff like that. And I do believe that the Breakvogel mine is up. The Lost Breakvogel mine has been found. The Lost Dutchman's has already been found. Now I could be wrong. It could probably be somewhere along Weaver's Needle or wherever. I don't know.
Right. Because I mean, look, they're still finding stuff. They're still finding old stuff every day. Let the desert stands move again, and we'll find something else.
I do subscribe to this one YouTube channel, the Lost Superstition Mountains. They talk about the superstitions and the Lost Dutchman and all that.
Is that with what's his name? We had him on the show.
You gotta give me a second. It's Larry Hendricks and
Superstition Mountain.
Ron Feldman.
Is it Ron?
Ron Feldman is one of the guys from the TV show, The Lost Superstitions. The one I'm talking about is a YouTube channel.
Right, and he does. Hang on. I got it.
The Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains. And Wayne Tuttle.
Wayne, that's who was on our show.
Yeah, I think he was part of that TV show.
He was.
This one is just it started out, we get his name. He passed away a while ago, but Larry Hendricks is basically now the host of the show. And they talk about the lost Dragoon pistols, the Colt Dragoon pistols. They also talk about different aspects of the superstitions, not just on the Dutchman, but other treasure stories.
Mhm.
So, but I'll be right back. I need to disappear for a second.
No, it seems. Well, wait a minute. What's going on here? I wasn't live anymore either. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was Wayne. Wayne Tuttle. He puts out a thing once a week or something on a superstition. Of course, our buddies Smith's Gold and Two Toes. They put out a video today, or Jeff did, anyways. You only hear me.
Muted.
I would do it.
Speaking of Two Toes, thank you to all our lurkers that are watching. I was coughing, everybody, and I didn't want you to hear it. And so I had my mute on, and I forgot to unmute. See how I am now?
Yeah, yeah. Rob was elsewhere. He had to step away for a second.
Yes, Rob needed a spinny break, I'm sure.
Yes, I did.
But anyways, you were saying something about Two Toes?
He's a lurker for the most part.
Yes. Oh yeah, hello lurkers. We forgot to say hi to our lurkers.
We did forget to say hi and thank you to our lurkers always, along with our podcast listeners on the replay
Oh yeah, absolutely.
over at Spotify and iHeartRadio and Amazon Music and Podcasts, along with Google Podcasts and others. Lady
Mona says,
Spitfire, hello.
Mona says, I can't lurk. I've tried.
Well, we're glad you're active in the chat room, Mona. I appreciate it, but I do love our lurkers too. Like I know one of our past guests and big YouTubers, Dan Hurd, he often lurks, and
Ollie lurks.
Polly lurks and stuff, and they lurk because they don't want to take away from the show.
And Clash, he lurks too.
Yeah.
And we say hi to them because just in case they're in there, we want them to know we appreciate them.
That's right.
Listening to our show.
Hey, Mitch, how you doing? And dropping names. That's right, because we've had Polly on several times. Our first million+ subscriber celebrity on our show was Aqua Jigger, Bo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Polly's a hoot though, boy.
Oh yeah, I'd love to go on the river with Polly, but even like moto mining or even Andy Thrax and all those guys, you know, Sibo and Dan Hurd. If I ever get up to British Columbia again, if I still lived in Skagit Valley, Washington, I'd be one county away from the Canadian border. Nice. He deserves it. Paulie puts in a lot of work in his production.
He does do that. Now I'm getting spinny thing, Ed.
Spinny things. Oh, I don't know. Looks good on my end. Now. Look good on all your ends.
Yeah, no issues on my end.
Huh, that's okay now, but I got the spinny thing there.
Got the spinny thing.
Lady Spitfire. I don't talk in the real world, but on here, I'm Lady Spitfire. Anything goes.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Almost. Almost, she said.
Almost anything goes.
Hey, Brian, you lose.
Brian.
Good,
Brian
good,
lost.
good, Bill. Let
That's a
that
good place for him.
name be somewhere else.
Yeah. Hey, Deej. I didn't see Deej in here earlier. Yes, Brian No Pants is here.
And Brian's here? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Numbers.
He lost.
He lost right off the bat. Jeez, Brian, and you just disqualified everybody.
Yep. So you're lucky we weren't
Everybody,
giving anything away.
sorry, no giveaway tonight because Brian put numbers in the chat room. Blame it on Brian. Our friend from Bering Sea Gold and American Gold Prospectors. On the 22nd will be our 6-year anniversary, so next week's show is an Open Line Tuesday celebrating our 6 years. And then I'm going to be going in, we'll talk more about it next week. So, be sure to join us then. And I'll see, since they increase my work hours, if I'll be able to find the time to make a kind of a compilation of shows from highlights from past shows.
Like maybe opening show to one of the shows, things like that.
We'll see.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I hope all the fathers out there had a great Father's Day Sunday. And I win WyGold's giveaway of the MindLab GPZ 7000.
Yeah, right.
All right, nice.
If I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be giving it shit away.
Keep dreaming, Brian. You're the rich one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brian could afford to buy that.
Yeah, several times over. Looters, how you doing?
Yeah, he can buy us all one. What the heck?
Yeah, no doubt. Is that? I want the fold up one like Two Toes and Top Cat has.
Yeah, that's nice.
What's
right
that?
In the back there? 27?
The SDC 2300.
Yeah,
23.
That's it.
Let's sit there and think about it.
I could add it to my other 2 Mind Labs. I'll even take the gold monster, but the SDC is totally waterproof, and the gold monster isn't.
You have my address, Brian.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ship it.
Send it. You got my address. You've been here, Brian. Send it. Send it.
You've been over to the house, Brian. You know where you can find me.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he came over to me and Scott's place, Scott's house.
Mm-hmm.
We went over to the local watering hole, had a few drinks.
Speaking of Swifty, I could have swore Sunday on the show I heard him say he'd be in here tonight. I never saw him, so I didn't feel right poking at him.
He more
Gotta
likely,
have him here to make fun of him.
Right.
he more likely forgot. That's just
More
how-
likely. He got
Right,
distracted with Manny.
right. With the Manny family.
Yeah.
Babysitting.
He's babysitting.
Mannequin sitting.
Oh, I doubt if Swiftwater could lurk.
He ain't
Oh,
that close, though.
I don't
he
take.
could not. He could not sit and just watch and listen.
No.
No.
No. I think we're unanimous about that.
Yes, we are.
Mhm.
We're together on that, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
great.
it's that time. 2 hours have passed. Counting the live stream countdown, 2 hours and 11 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes. I was a minute behind. Rob, thanks for joining us tonight.
No problem.
It was great having you on, our friend. Jesse, thank you as always, and Ruby in the background, thank you.
Oh, it's great to be on here.
That's fun. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy myself.
I did too.
Well, be careful up there, Brian. It's going to be a gnome Thursday.
Well, be careful, keep in touch, be a liaison for me with some of the people up there, if you would, Brian. I wink, wink. I'll be starting up again after next
Yeah.
week's show and after September. What's that, October? So we'll get into more of that later on next week's show.
Brian, Ruby says, make sure you ship that tomorrow before you take off for gnome.
Thank you very much, Mona. I'm glad you had a good time. I appreciate it. And appreciate you. I'm glad you had a good time, Rob. It was a pleasure having you on.
Yep. Finally got to talk to you,
Yeah.
meet you.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Moto mining.
I think we first met on GPS, didn't we?
Yep.
Yep.
On GPS, yeah.
Yep.
Lots of good people over there.
Hey, Moto, were your ears burning about 10 minutes ago?
They should have been on fire.
Yeah, I was talking about you.
He's, I get a hold of me later. I'll tell you what he said. No.
They're lies, all lies. Oh no, that's right, Moto.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
everybody. I have stuff to do before I can hit the hay. And again, Jesse, thank you for being
Sure.
here and my co-host. Thank you, Rob, for joining us for our special guest. And most of all, everybody, thank you out there for being our audience and part of the FlashFam. Remember, next week's 6-year anniversary and Open Line Tuesday. Hope to see you then.
Yeah, make sure you call in and congratulate us.
Yeah, maybe we'll do we'll
presents.
just have a huge panel. Try and get the whole damn room
Oh, that would be fun.
into the Zoom. The whole dang room. Could just have a big old step fest, you know.
That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, I should, huh?
Crazy, definitely
You're
interesting.
right, Heath. Where are you? Where's
Where'd you go?
WyGold? I need to find WyGold.
Oh,
WyGold, I now
There you go.
dub thee Sir Moderator. You've been a guest on the
Right there.
show, and now you've been.
Just type something in.
You just got your your wrench.
There you go.
Oh, he's all wrenched up now.
He got
you
it,
can-
guys. He got it.
Now you can put
Yeah,
links in
only if I
there.
can get a wrench on Gold Prospectors Radio.
Yeah, no doubt. And Mr. Lodak, talk to Tim Grimes about that. And speaking of Prospectors Radio, they put on a show here on YouTube and over at goldprospectorspace.com or on Spreaker, iHeart, several other platforms. Every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Let them know, flash in your pen, and ToledoJess and Ed sent you. Can tell them Rob sent you too. We're all members over there. Who are you? And Coco Loco says good night, everybody. Hey, you always have a flash in your pen.
You know what he's gonna say, Mark.
Maybe one day too, we'll see you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Take care. Right now, I think we're out of here.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Hello, good night. Damon Villa. Good night, buddy.
Gary Curry, Fred,
RSC. Good night.
GoPro,
Good night, Mona.
Mona, thank you very much.
GTU. See ya.
Still live, honey.
Wow, Relic Hunter. Good one. Brian. See ya later.
Good night, Deeds. You
Night,
too,
Deeds.
Mona. Good night, Moto. Thanks for stopping in. Better late than never, my friend. Welcome
Mr.
back,
Lodak.
Mr. Lodak. Good night, Mr. Lodak. After hours party at GPS.
Yeah.